Welcome to TimeBolt Office Hours on August 31st, 2023. You are live with Doug and Quinston. We are here to check your workflows, answer your questions, and generally just make sure that you get the best out of TimeBolt. And we might be talking a little bit faster today, even with turbo mode, because Quinston did have his cup of coffee, right? I can always tell when you've been like working nonstop, man. You'll like get on a call and your hair is freaking just like, and man, you're like, I figured it out, right? That dude's been pulling some long hours there. So we've got some exciting new developments with version 6. You've obviously hopefully gotten the email. If it didn't bounce, we've got a few of those. Hopefully you got the email with the updates, which we'll be going through. But I first wanted to just make sure that we're getting to our customer questions. We'll see if Daniel can jump on the call with us. TJ, how you doing?
Hey guys, doing well here. How are you?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm doing well. How about yourself?
Good.
Very well.
You look like a real YouTuber.
Yeah, I try.
Do you have questions for us today? Have we interacted before?
Yeah, my questions have to do with my audio sounding kind of bad. I downloaded we do a live podcast, and then I edit it, and then I put it out into all the Apple, Spotify, and all that other stuff. The audio aspect of it sounds like we're underwater.
The Reddit post was directed towards ex-cons. Were explained in the survey to the ex-cons. The goal was to, quote,
and to give you guys an example of what it should sound like. Today we're diving into a...
Can you go to TimeBolt again? And can you click on the settings icon? The only reason that's sounding underwater is because these things are turned on. And if you read above, it says audio pre-processing for better silence detection doesn't affect the output. So it just sounds like that in the preview. In the output, it will sound just fine, because this is the only reason it sounds like that is because it's trying to get the silence detection in a way that it's better.
Got you. All right.
So this is only for preview.
That makes more sense.
It'll sound better. It's limited to 136 kilobits per second. That's why, like, if you're looking for lossless audio, that's when you go to DaVinci Resolve, right? Like, if you're doing podcasts or your thing, just DaVinci Resolve is free. You do the integration, and that has an encoder. Now, this company's been around for a long time, invest a lot of money in their
much better encoder, yeah.
Right? Like we haven't, and it's going to give you the lossless audio, and then also maintain multi-track audio if you need to do stuff with that as well.
Oh, okay. All right.
But what I recommend, like, have you seen, it looks like he's using the old version of TimeBolt. I say old version, the 12-hour.
It's not updated yet.
Is that, and as far as how would he get the update?
Just wait for a bit. It'll auto update.
Do you recommend just shutting it down and restarting it?
No, wait, just wait for keep TimeBolt on for maybe depends on your internet connection, but keep it on for one thing that is did you get the pop-up which says you do an update? I think you probably got it already.
I don't believe I did, but I had this open in the background in case you guys.
I think you probably. Can you restart TimeBolt for a bit?
Do I have to save this? Or
yes,
Do you want to save it? Yeah, you can save it.
Yeah, I do. All right.
Did you already make cuts on it and stuff like that? Did you already do manual cuts?
I moved it a little bit and made it that it was because it was cutting off a little bit of the first word. I moved it a little bit and did a lot of edits on it. I just didn't know how to fix the sound, but I just close it and then open it again. Right? And then
You can also go to help and request an update right from there and stuff.
You can do that too. I forgot. Thanks, TJ.
New update available.
I didn't know that either.
You can go to help and just download it. Help, or the one at the top. No, not over there. The tab bar.
Okay. All right. The tab bar.
Go to help right there. Second.
I get the latest version of TimeBolt.
Well, it was already updating, wasn't it?
Oh, okay, it's done now.
It's good now.
Yeah, it's working now. Everything's going good. Thank you guys so much for
here. Check it out. When you open now, this is the thing is that we want to show you when you throw that file back in, you have automatically detect decibel levels already selected. I saw in settings, which is perfect because the math is updated in version 6. It calculate down to the decibel level and makes the cuts so precise. I didn't know TimeBolt could get better.
That is awesome. How do I pull up my saved stuff?
Where's your file? Where's your file that you were just working on? Drop your file.
This is still on. Is this one?
No, the video file.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just put this one in. This is the newest one that we're going to be working on. Yeah, the other issue I had was, and it didn't happen the second time, but it happened with the first time that I tried to use it. It said that I had to do things in chunks, but it wouldn't play anything. I would push play, nothing would happen. I don't know if the file was too big or not.
The file's never too big. There's got to be something wrong with your audio, like how it's recorded. Like TimeBolt, if it happens to me, like, for example, it happened to me I freaked out and I was like, why isn't TimeBolt playing this? And I remember when I was recording, I've got X amount and my hard drive space was kind of filled up. Okay. And I was recording another screen at the same time. The power, like what it was doing to my CPU caused the audio to get jacked in that particular recording. It's either like variable frame rate. What I did is I ran it through Handbrake to fix it, to make sure it was recorded constant frame rate. Now check out your cuts.
It's not finding the file. Where's the preview?
It found it. It found it, didn't it?
No, the preview is not available. What the codec is this?
And it's got a pound sign in it.
It's got a pound sign in it.
So that's the title of the video.
Yeah, well, you can't have pound signs in like random characters in your pathway.
I'll change the name.
Yeah, just take out like the pound and the money signs and anything like that, right? And you just make it a straight file name so that it can properly locate it and it'll work. Is that an audio only file?
No, it's video.
Not. Is the and sign okay? That's still there?
And signs suck too. You do not
okay.
So that includes that's something that's important. That includes your file path name, the folder to it, and the actual file. Because if you get these things right, it will work in TimeBolt.
I'll just upload it again.
Except for your machine. That's the only one it won't work on.
It can be confusing. I don't help the situation not knowing a lot about the computer and stuff like that. I'm very new to it.
So okay, you learn by trying.
Yeah, we started doing this YouTube stuff like still not there. All right, let me try it now that I've removed all that. Yeah, we just started doing YouTube maybe a little bit over a year ago, and we blew up probably in November. Well, to us, we only had 39,000 subscribers, but
that's good.
Damn,
yeah, that's good. That's really
39,000. Shit, man,
that's huge.
Beer?
That's huge. That's good work, Daniel.
Thank you. Yeah, which we don't have. It's me and my buddies. We have zero experience in any of this. Yeah, we talk true crime, and I'm an ex-police officer. My buddy on the panel is currently in the law enforcement field. I guess it kind of just resonates, and we're able to bring up good content for people. Even though our name doesn't sound very much true crimey, it wasn't necessarily supposed to be that way when we started.
You're talking about like true crime documentaries where you're going in and doing crime cases? Or are you talking about like self-defense shooting, stuff like that?
No, some active high-profile cases. Like the one we're talking about right now is the Idaho 4 massacre with Brian Koberger, who killed 4 university students in a sorority house. Yeah, that's the one we've been doing a lot.
They found the guy?
Yeah, they found the guy. I actually had one of the victims' moms as an interviewee as a guest on my show. I've had a couple of Brian Koberger's friends on my show. We've had lawyers and things like that to come on and explain some of the legal.
Can you
documents.
link your channel? I'd love to follow.
I was going to say, if you could drop that right now, that'd be great.
Yeah, where do I drop that? I don't know.
In the chat, there's a chat button over there.
Okay.
Next to the share screen button.
Oh, next to the share screen. It's called Drunk Turkey Show, which, like I said, it doesn't sound like it would. Drunk Turkey. Don't sound like I said. We initially weren't going to do true crime. We were more into like conspiracies and aliens and things like that. But because of my prior employment, Blue's current employment, it's just kind of been our niche. We still go back and forth. In fact, tonight we have on a guest he's responsible for the 1997, or not responsible, but he's in part of how that 1997 alien interview from Area 51 supposedly came out. I'm not sure if I believe it, but I'm going to give the guy a chance.
One of my best friends, I call him a best friend. I don't know if he'd call me his best friend. He's an F-22 pilot. Like the chance of meeting an active duty fighter pilot is like 0.0000486%. Okay. Super minuscule small. And I asked him this question. He's a test pilot for Boeing. He's one flying the F-18s. He said that he hasn't seen any credible evidence that UFOs exist. I asked him.
I struggle with it being alien. Like one of the things that kind of pops up to my mind is the fact that a lot of these UFOs that are involving the military and their visual is during training exercises off the coast. And if you look at the East Coast, Lockheed Martin Skunk Works is off that side, and that's where they do a lot of experimental aerodynamic type of experiments. They do experimental craft, they do weaponry, things of that nature. For them to show up where the fighter pilots in the sky are, and it'd be a training exercise, they're not having any live ammo. I think it's probably just us, our advanced technology. That's my thought. The other thing is, if they're so intelligent to cross the galaxy but crash when they get here.
I never thought of that. That's funny. I never thought of that. Yeah.
And to me, I think what would make more sense, that happening, or an experiment aircraft, which do tend to crash, and military cover it up saying it's alien, but the public doesn't know what they have.
Totally.
So that's
you cannot have an advanced aircraft travel light years through wormholes and crash into Earth. That is funny. That's totally, it makes like more sense than anything I've ever heard, really.
we're not complete believers anymore. I think we were when the government said that they were fake. Now that the government's come out saying they're real, we're a little bit more skeptical.
That's funny. That's funny. It looks like it does look. Thanks for telling us about your show. Congratulations on your success. That's freaking amazing. It looks like it looks like the videos showed up. So what was happening? Your video wasn't showing up. There's a bunch of stuff that was jacked. That all came down to the file path, right?
Yeah.
Like renaming the file path. That's all you changed, correct?
Yeah, that's all I changed. That probably makes a lot of sense as far as why the other ones weren't working, because when I title the show, it's the title that comes out in the YouTube when I save it, because I use StreamYard to the file is saved under the name that I title it. It's going to have those things. So I'm just going to have to go back and just take all those numbers out and stuff.
Quinston, is there
Symbols, yeah.
Quinston, is there a way within TimeBolt that it could read read the file name and say you have an, like, if it does have an odd character,
You should do that.
like it just pops up, that one thing that just pops up and you have an odd character in your file name.
That's
That'd be awesome.
No, that'd be great. Let's see how this sounds.
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Drunk Turkey Show. I'm Daniel. Alongside with me is Big Blue. We got a little bit of some court documents that have dropped. Something.
What I was doing before, and I'm pretty sure there's an easier way to do this, was I was just selecting like right here. Oh, not like that. Sorry. Like right here, and then doing a split. Oh, not a shift. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, let's get you set up. I know what you're doing. You're sitting. No, there is some real quick.
Hit the Command Z right now. Control Z.
See what it
That the cut's gone.
Yeah.
So it undid the cut.
The first thing is that you want to get your automations done. What I would recommend, you don't need audio normalization settings, I don't believe, turned on with this particular file, because if I don't need it on, the next time, just see if the audio waveform is still defined without the audio normalization settings. That way it doesn't sound all kind of hollowy and echoey, okay?
Okay.
Do you want to cut out ums and ahs and stuff like that?
Yeah, I do.
The first thing you want to do, now that your audio
It's going to take a long time, Doug. This is a 45-minute file. Sorry, an hour and...
Yeah, that'll probably take... If we were doing this, when you first start, what you want to do is, see those double check marks right there? No, double check marks.
Yellow double check marks.
Yellow double check marks, right?
Oh, I see them. Yeah. Umcheck.
You'll click that when you're after you drop your file in for the first time, okay? Before you make any cut work, before you do anything, because now your filter below and everything is set properly. What you're gonna do is you'll run Umcheck, and you'll just let that run. So go finish up the dishes, walk the dog, or whatever, because you're talking about an hour and a half long file here. So it'll take anywhere probably between 10 to 15 minutes to run. And when you come back, okay, you still haven't sat down and begun editing, okay? And then when you come back, it'll all just be laid out for you. You'll have the new Umcheck keywords, and then you just hit split timeline, turn off the words. You may have your own special unique word tick phrases that you say that aren't included, like and so those are all, like, if you can ever find a word tick phrase that you say that uses two words in combination, I'm saying something like that, right?
Yeah.
That is what makes Umcheck accurate, okay? Because we're only as accurate as the accuracy of the transcriptions, and we buy the most accurate transcriptions money can buy, okay? But what happens is that when you combine filler words, it cuts it out beautifully. You just hit split time, you just say cut it right out of the timeline. Literally in 3 clicks, you've removed 85% of the stuff that makes you hate the sound of your own voice, most people. Now you can go in and begin to sculpt your timeline, okay? Because now that your automation work is done, now you've got a clean palette, right, to work with. So what you're going to want to do is, when you first start, okay, always go to the top and see preview playback rate, hit 1.5x. Now what this does is, when you hit your space bar,
Some court documents that have dropped.
it automatically
I was doing a little bit. Didn't seem like it was a lot better.
1.5x preview speed. You won't. There's no reason to edit at any slower pace. Okay. And when you're doing this, I want you to remember when sculpting the timeline. Remember three SOB. Okay, that's the best, easiest acronym I can use. So go anywhere on the timeline and go like before a word starts on the timeline, like a waveform, like in the middle of the waveform.
The second green thing seems nice. The second green one, after that first word, you can click it inside there, yeah. And you can use your left and right arrow keys to adjust it.
Right here where I click?
Yeah, that's perfect, yeah.
Click S. It created a split. Okay, that's that button you were looking for. Okay?
S is a split.
And then go on the other side of that word and click S. Yeah, like see, the little thing is, like, you put an S there and then there's a little word in there. So like you just cut out 3 words. Do you see remember, S splits the playhead, okay? And when you just split the playhead, you went and still click the top line. I don't want you to do that. I do not want you to click the top thing. We're not going to do that anymore, okay? Because
everything keyboard operated.
too slow. Let's go ahead and you put one S there, go to the other side of one of those little things is a word. Okay. You're cutting out like the whole back half of the sentence. I'm trying to teach you how to cut the middle part of a sentence out.
Okay.
Just go away from that green part. Go to the next green part. Okay. And just see where they're like there's a blank space, like in the middle of the timeline. Keep it right there. Perfect. Yes. S. Go on the other side of that. Not the other. Look,
Not at the end.
I got you.
S. Now, before you do anything else, hit B for back cut.
There it is.
That's the fact. Even though there's up and down arrow keys and stuff, I personally like if I'm cutting out something out of the middle, I'm using. That's the one thing I use a trackpad for. I'm not really an up and down arrow key guy.
I'm that guy.
Yeah, Quinston is, but you remember SOB. Now, when you're going through the timeline, click O. Hit spacebar.
Like there was a lot there. One of it was about the.
You don't have to stop. When you're let's say you're previewing this section coming up, okay? And you don't want that whole section as you're previewing with the play bar going. Okay, you push P.
My bad.
It was about the
Pushing P.
allowing.
There it is.
It turns the entire scene off and skips to the next scene. That's a real quick way to cut out any retakes, mistakes that you just want that whole chunk gone. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as you're going through the keyboard, okay, just hit the space bar.
Cameras in the courtroom.
Now, let's say you didn't want that previous part. Let's say you're like that was just some gibberish. See, like that whole green part before it, like that whole
The green part before the cursor.
yeah, right there. Okay, hold on. Yes, that one. No,
No, don't go inside it. Just go on the next one. Keep the cursor on the next one. Yeah.
Just
click
like
it.
this.
Click it. Okay.
Okay.
Now stay there.
All right.
now hit the space bar and click B.
All right, let's start recording this.
In this case, you think that's going to help or
Spider.
not help?
So that cuts out the back part of the sentence.
Correct.
Yeah,
The last
that
The
one?
previous green part.
So you don't have to stop. The point is you don't have to stop the playhead. Okay. Like you might have some kind of gibberish that happened in that small little area that you don't now have to stop the playhead, go back, click a green thing, just hit B, and that playhead keeps going, right? So you can remove what you've already previewed with back cut. SOB, right?
SOB. Yeah.
So after you get involved with cutting up the timeline, you can do punch in, punch out. I don't know how much that is going to impact you with the letter P, which you've already done. Okay. But the other thing, the third thing that I would teach you up front as a new beginner is, do you do chapter markers for YouTube?
I want to. I haven't done it yet. I'm trying to figure that out.
Okay, well, we've got the fastest method on planet Earth. Okay, like nothing's faster with making YouTube chapter markers. What you're gonna do is wherever, and this is all in the first pass, right? The goal is you only have to watch this once. That's the goal. Right. When you're going through on that first pass and you start something new, let's say that this is a new chapter right here. This is the only time you're going to, besides cutting out a middle part of a word, you're going to use the keypad or your mouse, and you're going to right click. Okay. Right. And I want you to go to the top of that right click, and it says where you type in a title, type in, this is chapter 1. And then I want you to go down right there and click M right there, mark cut. Okay. That just put a chapter marker right there. Go down your timeline, go some other part of your timeline, just like scroll across like you're putting chapter mark. Like now put another one in, chapter 2, mark cut. Boom. Perfect. Now go down. Let's do a third one somewhere down the line. Now, let's say you've got all this chaptered out. You can type in as long of a description as you want. You can put as many of these as you want inside this. Okay. This is the beauty of what we got going on. Scroll down. Let's say the goal is you do all of your cut work inside TimeBolt. I don't care if you're going to export to DaVinci Resolve to mess with your audio, but you should not be subtracting time once you leave TimeBolt, right? You could add design elements or whatever, but don't take time away because it's faster to do in TimeBolt. What you're going to do is you have two options. One is you just go ahead and render immediately, okay? But what you want to do is you want to save your chapter markers. See those 3 buttons right there? The three little dots.
Dots on the right hand side.
There it is. Yeah. Do I click that?
Click it and hit download markers text file. Now open that bad boy up. Click. There you go.
Yeah, just move it over to the left of the screen. Keep going.
There it is.
There it is.
DJ, your mic is coming in super hot, man. Blistering, blows through base.
Doug, what do you want? Doug, what do you want from me? I'm always excited about this product. I get a little excited. I apologize.
No, it's the volume of your mic. Yeah. I love that you're excited, man. But like you're the worst to edit with in TimeBolt because it jacks up all the. But we'll get it. I think it's just a volume thing on your mic. What you have here now is copy paste chapter markers for YouTube. You just copy that and paste it right into the description of YouTube, and it's already formatted and timed to the exact point in your video. You don't have to go back and rewatch your video and figure out what you said again.
Daniel, another key part of this thing too is I'm a DaVinci Resolve person as well. So when you drop this thing into DaVinci Resolve, those chapter markers that you did in TimeBolt are going to come up as little yellow carrots within the timeline of DaVinci Resolve. So you'll be able to see where your chapter markers are inside DaVinci. But like Doug said, this thing is awesome because you could do it all in one pass through TimeBolt, drop it in DaVinci Resolve, and then you're all set to go and chapter markers already built for you.
That is awesome. This is a game changer. Thank you. I didn't know about this part.
Yeah, absolutely. There's all these little, like, that's why we have these live office hours. There's these little tricks. I mean, this alone, this feature alone will save you however long your file is to having to rewatch it. But that's the point, is like, let's do everything on your first pass, cut it down. And then the other thing is that what I would recommend, okay, go back to TimeBolt. If you decided that you're okay with the quality of the render coming out of TimeBolt, okay, what I would do is go down and I would click activate turbo mode. And what this does is it basically increases your rate of speech. And what's cool is after you run Umcheck, you're actually going to be able to see before you time bolted the video, like before you took out the dead air, what your words per minute is. Okay. And then what after you remove the dead air and the ums and ahs, what's your new words per minute? And you're typically going from like 161 to like 211. Okay. That's how. And then if you apply turbo, who doesn't want to talk 12% faster, right? The only thing that's noticeable is like, it just makes you, it like gains IQ points, if that's like what that content, for me at least, right? It makes me sound smarter and faster than real life. What you would do here is right here, you would add the render, don't do it right now yet, but you would add the render queue and render this out. But because you're speeding up that whole video, now all of a sudden your markers text file is going to be out of whack, right? It'll be 12% too late or whatever the math is. We fixed that. We've accounted for that. See those three little dots right there? You click that and that download a new markers text file that accounts for whatever speed multiplier that you put in there. It's one of those things where now you've got the capability not just to do your podcast, but you look like a guy that belongs on video. You got a great voice for video. There's probably other elements where you're like, hey, I've got to explain myself and I don't want to send annotated screenshots and write a 5-paragraph email to explain something on my screen. Now you can use turbo mode and making quick video messages as well. Have you seen that part yet?
The video messages? No, I haven't seen that part. No, I haven't. This is awesome though. What I can add text into it. Oh, and the other question I have, if I speed it up, does it speed up the background music as well? I noticed that was a feature on here as well. Do I need to speed it up first? Everything. Would you recommend speeding it up first and then adding the music?
If you're doing podcasts, I don't think you should speed it up. If people are watching on YouTube, you would rather have them listen at real-time speed, right? Because they already have the option to speed it up in the YouTube player.
I would disagree with that because this is where we haven't been able to describe. I call it magic, that what Quinston's done. He's taken, when you do the turbo mode inside TimeBolt, you don't sound like a chipmunk, okay? You just sound smarter and faster in real life. You put YouTube on 1.5x speed, or like you sound like a chipmunk. It fundamentally, and what we're saying is that if you speed it up to get that 12% inside TimeBolt, or you just compress it and do it, you don't want to do it all inside DaVinci Resolve because then you would screw up your markers text file, right? But if you if you sped that up, there's no need for somebody to increase the speed on YouTube, right?
Yeah, that makes sense.
There's no need to do it. But as far as the background music goes, I actually did that, Quinston, yesterday for the first time when I was doing the update email. I was like, I'm putting on turbo and I want to see what this thing sounds like with background music. And I don't think it sped up the background music. It worked. Like it worked well. Like it applied turbo and then it applied the background music in the process after that. So it didn't add background music and then turbo the whole thing. So it flowed great. I just don't have the right background music to video. It's all like techno and shit. That's how you're able to use turbo. The last thing that I'd show you to do is again, you can start doing capture. If you have to make quick video messages, things like that, you can actually send a watchable link inside TimeBolt. Before I kind of get to that feature and show what's new in version 6, and if you can stay with us, that'd be great. If not, I totally understand. WBL.
I'm here.
Is there anything in particular we can help you out with?
I contacted through email. I think it was like a week ago. But basically what it was is that when I put in a video, for some reason it doesn't show in the preview. I'm not really too sure why. Yeah, I was just saying that basically whenever I put a like a video in TimeBolt, for whatever reason, it doesn't like show it in the preview. Like there's no preview. I can show you if I can share my screen.
Yeah, sure, you can share screen.
I've never used Zoom before, man. This is hold on.
There's a big button at the bottom that says share screen.
Oh, I see, I see. I don't know if it's working. Is it? So you see over here, like there's no preview at all, and it's an MP4
Can
file.
you show us? Can you show us the file?
Sure, sure.
The path of the file. The path.
Path. Okay, let me see if I can find. It's all of these, so like all of these little files. Like for example, this one, right? This is on my. It's a external SSD.
Okay.
So if I press open, it will do all of this stuff, and then it won't show the preview. And it's weird because it worked before. I'm not really too sure what happened.
Can you open the path in Explorer in the File Explorer? I think that might be something.
Yeah, hold on. How do I? Because I need to share my entire screen. Let me do this. There we go. So here it is. Here's what it is. So it's right in my.
Can you right click on it? Just right click on the file and open properties.
Properties. There we go.
And details.
Details.
You scroll down. I can't see the path. Oh yeah, /recordings. It should work. How big is the file? Can you send me like a copy of it?
It's quite big. I can't. I can try. I can try and get like a smaller copy.
I think that might be the reason. I think too big to show preview. That could also be a reason.
Okay, let's try this one. This one's 390.
Okay, try this one. Don't drop it in. Don't drop it in.
Or just new? I don't know. Okay, there we go. I'll drag it into. You said don't drop it in. You say.
Yeah, just click on it.
Let's try this one then. Let's see. Maybe it's something that I'm missing from my PC or something. I don't know. It could be that. Hey, you see, it's just nothing shows up. It's a bit strange.
Can you click
it's not,
the timeline?
This one's not too big, right? Can you send it a file to me? A retransfer or something?
Does it play at all? Does it play?
It plays. It's gonna play. It just doesn't show the preview.
It doesn't even like things. It shows like the WAV files. It doesn't show the preview. Yeah.
It doesn't play. No, it doesn't.
I think it does. Can you click on it? Can you click in the?
Yeah, it's not seem to be playing or anything like that.
Can you try? Can you click XML? Just want to see something. Click that XML export.
This one.
Yep, 60. Okay.
Do you want me just to transfer over? No problem.
And you can drop the link in the chat. I think it's not too big, right? How long does it say to upload?
Like
it was like 300 megabytes.
You're gonna upload that to WeTransfer, and then there's a little chat button right here that
I see, yeah.
And Quinston will check that out. Okay.
That's perfect. Thank you.
Very rare that we find a file that we're not working with. Thank you for sharing that. While we're working on that, what I'd like to do is go ahead and show you how to send a link. Okay, this is I believe it's changed my relationship with video. This particular feature. I'm gonna share my screen. This is very exciting. And you guys use Loom or anything like that, Daniel? WBL? I know TJ does.
I never used Loom before. No.
Okay.
No, I haven't either.
There was a need for a way to send video quickly. That not all video belongs on YouTube, right? For quick video messages for work, just explain yourself to a colleague, maybe your boss. But what we have here is a recording tool. There's nothing super groundbreaking about this except for on this recording piece. Okay, this is all pretty standard. You can record as a standard in standard quality or high quality. One of them is going to be a 3-minute video that's 30 megabits. The other is going to be a 3-minute video that's 300 megabits, right? One of them is very simple and easy to transfer, upload, send in Slack, put in the body of an email. The other is something that you're typically going to do for YouTube. All you do is start recording. I should have been recording that while I was talking because we got to get some content. Standard, quick and small, and then the highest quality, and then you can do your screens. I think some of them I've heard have done up to like 3 screens. So after you get done having a conversation, saying what you need to say, this thumbnail moves around. I really like the design of this. People are like doing a lot of circle stuff, but this has a lot more presence to the screen. And what's cool is like with TimeBolt, you can be talking about a screen, stop talking, and then start talking again, and you switch environments. You control when TimeBolt is on or off by when you talk, and now you can start talking again. You can give the impression of multiple camera angles and just view variety. I hit stop recording, ask me if I want to save the video. I just hit save, and at this point, it's going to auto push into TimeBolt. If I already had a project open, it would say, are you sure you want to auto push into TimeBolt? And what it's doing right now, it's taking that file and making sure a continuous frame rate file. Here's the file. Of course, the decibel levels are, remember that used to just be like -35. It was just like this just calculates decibel levels. Amazing. And the beauty about this system is that you can send a link to a watchable video faster than it took to record it. Said no one ever before. This is the first time that this has been possible. What happens is that your transcriptions open up in another window. This is where you pay. So the first 3 transcriptions are on us. Again, I still have only clicked on this video. I got at least about a minute worth of video here. I don't know how many ums and ahs I'm going to have when a minute long video, right? Usually what happens is you're looking at you're shooting a 5-minute explainer about a screen or something you're talking about. But once you cut it all down, it's 2.5 minutes. And it goes from being annoying to watch to something that's like people understand that they think you put a lot of time into it in something that's scripted. Umcheck runs a number of times. For example, I could go like this, but I wonder why doesn't it say that interesting? Oh, there it is. There it went. Okay. Oh, there was extra words at the end of that. All I do is do split timeline, turn off the words. Again, you'll have this already all set up. And then what I do is, because I like people that I send videos to, I usually put this like 1.125x. If I'm sending it to Quinston, I'll put it at like 1.4 because he understands my fast rate of speech. And all I do at this point, we're going to do render and create a public link.
Wait, you didn't change it. You just kept it at 1.125. You didn't do.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I was, because I'm not sending it just to you.
All right, cool.
Right down here, if you're looking, you can see uploading the public link. Now, watch this. I can just basically, let's say you have to submit a support ticket, or you've got a place like a user forum where you can't just upload a file, right? There are those places where you have to have a link. When you send this link, here is your time bolted video. All you do is start recording. I should have been recording that while I was talking because we got to get some content. Standard, quick, and small, and then the highest quality, and then you can do any of your screens. I think some of them I've heard have done up to like 3 screens. People are like doing a lot of circle stuff, but this has a lot more presence to the screen. And what's cool is, like with TimeBolt, you can be talking about a screen, stop talking, and then start talking again, and you switch environments. So there you go. You've got the first watchable video in less time than it took to capture live, and in 5 clicks. Right? In 5 clicks or less, you've sent a link and cut out 85% of the stuff that makes you hate the sound of your own voice. When you send this to somebody, it's not annoying to watch, right? Like, they're not going to watch it and be listening to other things because you're actually able to deliver information at a rapid pace.
An instant YouTube video, making an instant YouTube video for somebody that's your friend, but in the exact way like a YouTube video would be cut.
WBL, how are we looking on that upload?
I was getting that. This one won't upload for some reason. It's just made another one, but I'm sending that over right now.
Yeah, we talked like automatic decibel level. This, I didn't like, this would always be like minus 35. Like, the cuts now happen so precise to the front of the word. It's just a perfect cut. It flows like butter on each and every one. It doesn't matter what type of file I put in here. I could have a low quality audio example. For example, I throw this one in. This is a low quality. This even does the cuts right. This is what's nice. This is the only reason you would turn on your low volume, okay, is if this little warning sign comes up. This is going to also tell you, hey, look, go to audio settings, turn on audio normalization settings, and that's just kind of your warning to do that.
You can go to the settings, show it the checkbox.
With the settings, you would just turn on your audio normalization settings right here.
No, the automatic detect.
This?
So there's a checkbox where you can, if you want automatic detection, it's going to be turned on by default when you get TimeBolt for the first time. Let's say after some time, you find your perfect decibel value and you don't want automatic. I don't know why you wouldn't. But let's say you don't at some point, then you can turn that off and put in a hard-coded value, and it will be always done with that hard-coded value with every file. But yeah, if you turn this feature on, automatically detect filter value, it's going to find the right filter value for that file every time you use TimeBolt.
So it's just such a big innovation, because we used to have to explain to people how to set this up and go between minus 30 to minus 42 dB, and it just came at a straight minus 35. This just really sets it up for you to make super precise cuts. So these are easily the most precise cuts on the internet. And then with our activate turbo mode, we've got our turbo mode button put here as its own alone option. Yeah. Obviously sharing a watchable link, which how did you like our new
It's good. Yeah, it's a link and an arrow.
That'll be
the play button.
Yeah, play button with our links. We'll have the watchable terminology up here. So we're just getting that done.
Yeah, one thing I would like to talk about is, can you open TimeBolt, Doug? I just want to show something. One change that has come about is with the video clips. There was an option with video clips in TimeBolt earlier, which was in the export options. So this link used to be in the export options, but as we have taken turbo mode and made it like a front page feature, we've taken that export clips into the 3-dot button because it just makes more sense. Also, one more thing that we've added is that now you can export clips which have been turbo mode. So if you click on activate turbo mode, that same feature is also available here. So the clips that you export now, the separate clips, the separate green clips, are also going to be sped up based on the speed multiplier in the turbo mode window.
And Daniel, what he's referring to there is there markers, that markers function where you right click in, you type in the title, like, so that creates your YouTube chapter markers. Okay. You now, let's say that you've got this long video file and you've got some key points, right? You got 60 seconds for a YouTube short and like 90 seconds for an Instagram, right? Let's say you want to make a YouTube short based on the content that you made. You can now use markers to actually select the most important, highlight the most most important pieces. You click M, add markers. Advanced I am. So you click M to add the markers. What I can do right now is do keep only marked cuts. This just tells you that, how to get back from this. You're going to hit Command Z to get back. But when you do keep only marked cuts, this matters when an hour-long video. When you preview and the other 2 pages, but you have no image before you zoom. So if you go back to animation, I can figure out how to move this up. Only your marked cuts are kept. That new output duration is 28 seconds. Let's just say that it was like a minute, 10 seconds. Okay. Well, what you can do with turbo mode, because you got to be 60 seconds, you can go activate turbo mode. And let's just, for instance, this is, how many seconds I say this was? Is that what it was? 41 seconds.
Why would that be 28 seconds?
Doesn't it measure, because it's going to give you like, what is this? Like, what's the,
So this is going to be the duration multiplied by the speed multiplier.
but right
What's
now,
the total duration of the file?
28 plus, no, I'm just trying to figure out like, what is this value right now? Because it should be, shouldn't it be the absolute value of the keep only marked cuts, which would be 28 seconds or less, because it's sped up right here by 1.125? Because I thought it would be, let's say I was doing a video.
Can you make it 1? Can you make it like 1 speed multiplier? And then can you increase it 0.125? You need to update that. It'll be updated when you do that, but you have to update it by clicking on that.
Okay.
Changing those values.
So now it shows 25 seconds. Let's say I wanted to.
When the actual file gets rendered, it doesn't care about the time fit within limit unless you want it to. But the main value that gets picked up is the speed multiplier value.
If I wanted to make this, let's say the limit was 20 seconds, I'd do like 1.4, 1.45, right? And now I would be able to hit add to render queue or create clips, okay, that I would then export into CapCut and then add the clips,
captions,
add the captions for like for the shorts, which will have those workflows. I'm developing these pages. We're developing these pages right now to show these workflows. But the point is that whatever your needs are, a talking head video, whether it's shorts, longs, making a quick video for work, communicating with a colleague, or uploading to YouTube, it's all done in TimeBolt. You can do it all in TimeBolt. It's just something that you're not going to have to spend 3 weekends learning how to use TimeBolt. You are spending 30 minutes on live office hours with this. Or
can I share my screen? I want to show something about a WBL's file. So over here, one thing that I did notice is that the frame rate of this file is a little weird. It should be about like 30 by 1 or 30 by 3000 by 101. The number is completely, I think this is like it is HEVC, it's H265, which is fine. This should be fine. There's something up with the frame rate. I think you'll need to like convert this into some sort of a constant frame rate file.
Yeah, the frame rate on OBS is 60, set to 60, so it's a bit.
Yeah, when you divide it, it becomes 60, but it's not standard. Like this is not standard frame rate. Yeah, that's why messing up, like, because it's variable frame rate file. So variable frame rate essentially means that it's recorded in a way that it was not able to maintain that correct frame rate, which is why it's not playing well. I would not recommend editing this file. You might still get the cuts correctly. That might not be an issue. You might get the cuts correctly, but it might be out of sync with the video, or maybe not. I don't know. You'll have to test it. But I would not recommend this frame rate file to be used. It's
right. I think the only thing I changed is that from last time I did it in H264 rather than H265. Maybe that might be an issue.
Probably go back to that.
I'll give it a go. Like,
yeah. Or if your files are already like, I would recommend re-rendering them, like just like re-encoding them with something like Handbrake, or if you have Premiere Pro and DaVinci Resolve, you can just drop them in and re-render them at like a proper frame rate and then put them back into TimeBolt. I would work definitely. Because this value right here makes me hesitant.
All right, no worries. I'll give that a go.
I got to get going. I want to say thank y'all for explaining so much of this. You guys really helped me out. Thank you so much.
Sure, Daniel. Thanks for choosing TimeBolt. I appreciate your time and going back and forth with me on support, jumping on the call today. And congrats,
yes,
man.
I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. And I'll catch on to these when they come on if I have more questions.
All right. Sure. We support the blue. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys. You have a good one.
We got King. Somebody else just joined. Welcome to TimeBolt office hours. And were we able to fix? We were able to get through his issue.
He'll have to re-render the file.
Re-rendering the
file. I'm pretty certain it's a variable frame rate file. That's the issue.
And if the file doesn't play in TimeBolt, if you hit a button and it doesn't play, 99% chances are that it's a variable frame rate file, right? And that you have to use, in order to fix your existing recording, you're going to have to use Handbrake to turn it into constant frame rate file and then fix it when you're on the production end, when you're recording next time. We know it sucks, right? But you can fix it moving forward at the source, but you can also fix it looking backwards by using Handbrake and re-encoding the file. So that was everybody a bunch of time.
Just an update. I changed it to 264 and it seemed to work. I think it was 265 that might be the issue.
No, 265 is fine. It works. 265 is not the issue. It's variable frame rate because TimeBolt supports rendering H.265.
What he's saying, I think what he's saying is that you're doing this in OBS.
And the frame rate is constant on OBS. At least that's what it says it is. But I think it might be something to do with OBS. Maybe I don't know.
No, sometimes what happens is I don't know. I can't be certain about this, but sometimes when you do record in constant frame rate, it does go to variable frame rate when system resources aren't available. Render a big massive file because you have such long files. It could be that reason. I can't tell for certain. The only reason I can say what I said is because of that number over there. That number should either be something like 30 by 1. It should be 3000 by 1001 or 30,000 by 1001 or some value like that. A very long value with a slash in the middle. That usually indicates an issue with variable frame rate. So because we do test files, if you take a H.265 file from an iPhone, so if you take an iPhone recording and you drop that file in, even though it's H.265, it still works. So TimeBolt does support H.265 preview. There's just something about the file that's causing that issue.
Yeah, mine was the resources. Mine was definitely the system resources. You can just you can almost see it happen inside the recording, and it sucked. I didn't want to go back and handbrake something, and it was like, well, and it was my system resources were low, and I think it's also because I don't have much memory, much storage left. It's time to get a new MacBook Pro with the 2. I need to upgrade what you got, Quinson. You got some good stuff. Is there any additional questions that we can answer for you, Wibble?
Wibble?
Call you Wibble? I guess not. And TJ, is there appreciate you joining us today, and is there anything else topics we haven't broached, things you want to talk about?
No, I'm good right now. I appreciate all the hard work and stuff. Windows 11, I know you guys are Mac people. Your product is running 11. I've been trying to hammer it right now. She's just performing very well. It's all good.
I'm not a Mac person, by the way. I use Windows. Like TimeBolt is built on Windows. It's not built on Mac.
I'm a Mac guy.
I knew there was a reason why I liked Winston. I knew there was a reason. I'm a PC. I think I just need some help with my hot mic here all the time.
Have you tried in Zoom? Have you gone like in Zoom? Like when you go to Zoom preferences for your audio, and you're talking, does it show like in the massive red, or is it like just when you're talking?
No, it's in the respectable limit and stuff. And like in OBS, if I have the thing all the way to the right hand side for the microphone, it just gets blown out. I have to back that off in OBS. And when I record in OBS and I listen back to it, I sound fine. But every time I come onto your call, I'm too hot. I don't understand that. You young people have those nice young ears. You got the good hearing and stuff, I think is what it is.
Oh, you should see your audio when I edit it in TimeBolt. Okay, I'm telling you, it is a distinguishable major difference.
Do me a favor. Just send me a little clip.
I'll send you a screenshot.
What it is. Yeah.
For one thing, I'll send a screenshot. You can just I won't have to explain it.
Everyone will be like this, very nice, and all of a sudden TJ's up here somewhere.
Which one are you, TJ? I'll just put a question mark.
Yeah,
right?
I think I'll be able to figure it out.
We're going to start getting into some comparisons. I think it's time now that we've got automatic silence detection decibel level. I think it's absolute time that the third task that we have our friend Nick do a blog post on the exact cut differences. You take one video that, let's just say it's scripted. Hell, you could use the video that I just made, and you use that one video and you upload it to TimeBolt, Descript, Gling, and from that point, start tracking time. How long does it take you to get it put in? How long does it take to, like, what can you do that's just the automations, right? What does it come out like, just automations? And then what does that XML file look like? And what does it sound like? There's going to be such a vast difference between TimeBolt and those others, much less about the time. I think it's clear who would win and why